Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dave Ash. I've been a member of KOSHH since it started, and I'd like to explain the KOSHH pledge to you. Some of you may have seen the notices we've got up on the wall there. So because we've got an election coming up, we got in touch with all of the candidates in 4 local constituencies, and we asked them if they would like to sign our pledge. So our pledge says that if elected, they will demand an NHS which is publicly provided by directly employed staff, publicly accountable by restoring the Secretary of State's duty to provide, publicly funded through general taxation, comprehensive and universal, and free at the point of clinical need. We believe that those are the things which are required to ensure the continued existence of your NHS. As anyone who lives in the London Borough of Sutton will know, our dustbin collection service is publicly run, but it's provided by a private company, Helier in our case, and we've all seen what a hash-up they've made of that. Imagine the repercussions of a similar hash-up when we're talking about our healthcare or that of our children. Thanks to the Health and Social Care Act 2012, in our NHS we now have private companies able to bid for and provide services in all areas around England. Administration of this market is costing over £10 billion every year, money which should be going into patient care. If you lived in Wimbledon or in the London Borough of Sutton in 2010 to 2015, your MP voted for this to happen. Stephen Hammond voted for it, Tom Brake voted for it, Paul Burstow not only voted for it, he actually led the Act through Parliament. This same Act also removed the Health Secretary's duty to provide you with an NHS, thereby abolishing your NHS in legal terms. And the media didn't tell you about that, did they? This Act was the very thing which has placed not only St Helier, but the very future of our NHS in jeopardy. Since it was passed, we have seen our junior doctors go out on strike, hospital trusts up and down the land going into so-called deficit, and massive increases in A&E waiting times. A study published in February by the Royal Society of Medicine, so we're not talking some loony left-wing rag here, Royal Society of Medicine shows that cuts in health and social care have led to 30,000 excess deaths in the year 2015. That's at least 30,000 sons or daughters who have died because of the actions of this government and those of the coalition before them. Mr Cameron and now Mrs May have got blood on their hands, as has every MP who voted for those cuts, or indeed that pernicious act. The facts speak for themselves, but the victims of the facts no longer speak. I certainly couldn't bring myself to vote for anyone who voted for that. Some people have said that this election is all about Brexit. But could it be that those people are saying this because they would rather we didn't notice the elephant in the room? Could it be that they would rather you didn't notice that they're in the process of running your NHS into the ground in order that their friends in the private health insurance industry can make a quick buck? And in any case, what's the good of a good Brexit if you're not alive to experience it? Any one of us could get hit by a bus tomorrow, or find out that we have cancer, or that we're expecting a baby. In any case, it's only a matter of time until all of us need the services of our NHS. Brexit is going to happen anyway, whatever we do. But the question of the NHS is yet to be answered. And what on earth could be more important than your health? I say to the private health insurance firms desperate to make a quick buck at the expense of your health, the people who have enabled and defended the privatisation of your NHS, the people who have found sneaky new ways to take away from us what is ours, and most of all, the politicians who have placed us all in this terrible position, as the founder of the NHS, Aneurin Bevan, said in Trafalgar Square in 1956, there is no count at all upon which they can be defended. They have besmirched the name of Britain. They have made us ashamed of the things of which formerly we were proud. They have offended against every principle of decency. And there is only one way in which they can even begin to restore their tarnished reputations, and that is to get out, get out, get out. Folks, on the 8th of June, we've got a chance, possibly our last chance, to save our NHS or lose it forever. Just like the NHS has always been there for us when we need it, now more than ever, your NHS needs you. So, I'd like some feedback from you all on this. We've already heard that the NHS, as originally founded, was the most efficient health service in the world, and that we are being pushed by the current government towards a system like that in the USA, which is the very least efficient health service in the world. A system which also happens to be one where only those who can afford healthcare can get it, and others die on the street. So, do you want to keep our St Helier Hospital? Yes. Do you want St Helier to keep its full A&E and its full maternity departments? Yes. Do you want St Helier to keep its children's hospital and its intensive care department? Yes. Do you want a health system where we, the people, get the treatment we need when we need it, irrespective of whether or not we can afford to pay for it? Yes. Do you want to keep your NHS?
Yes. Got some hands up.
I believe that there is only one way that we can ensure that we still have an NHS by the next general election, and that is to make sure that the Conservative Party are kept well away from it. And, as the 2010 to 2015 Condemn coalition showed us, the Lib Dems can't be trusted to look after our interests either. So I would suggest that they are also kept well away from the corridors of power. And as for that often repeated lie that the only vote which will keep the Tories out is to vote for the Lib Dems, an old saying comes to mind. Vote for what you want, or you will get what you deserve. Finally, I'd like to leave you with another quote from an Iron Bevan, who said that the NHS would last as long as there were folk left with the faith to fight for it. Let's show them that we've got that faith, and by God, we're going to fight for it.